Hey guys, welcome back to some more Demon Hunter madness. So, last episode we defeated one of the side major bosses, Urzael. I'm not sure, there's not too many other bosses. I'm trying to think actually. I don't think there's any other bosses. Like, in the other acts there's usually a handful of bosses. But in this act I'm pretty sure there's only the two, well, Urzael and then Mathiel. I'm sure oh no, what am I talking about? What am I talking about? We actually have to fight Adria. We're going to be fighting Adria, and that's actually another difficult boss. And you'll see why when I come to it. But of course, the way we need to go, it's blocked off, so we're gonna have to take the long route. And these little dudes, I mean, these little creatures, they're in every act. They're just, well, not these specific ones, but these type of easy kill multiple creatures. Like that, I like fighting them. They're good XP usually because they're so quick. It's so efficient to kill them. And that's how. It's funny because in the in Vanilla D3, there was like this farming route people always used to do for XP, and it was killing those. It was in Act 3. Yeah, it was in Act 3, I think, and it was those little scorpions, and they, for some reason, they gave a lot of experience, but they were like, and there was heaps of them. They just swarmed you, but they were so easy to kill. And it's always good when you get an elite pack of these, of the weak creatures. I don't know if they scale, like, I'm not sure how that works, because it always feels like if you verse an elite pack of like a difficult normal enemy. So these little guys, they're easy to kill, but if you face like a big dude, or treasure goblin, always gotta kill those, no matter what. There's so many times I've almost died from trying to kill a treasure goblin, but I don't know why. Just, you gotta kill them. They got treasure. But yeah, I don't know if it scales, because if you take a little guy like that, they're so easy to kill, but then a big dude, he takes a lot more shots, he does a lot more damage. I'm not sure if the elite variants of those are any different. If like the big dudes are tougher than the little guys. It sort of feels like it, but I don't know. I don't know if they would have done that, so this is probably the one aspect of the game that I find a little annoying, is this running around trying to find everything. So sometimes like this right here, you find them really quickly, but other times like Act 2 is the worst for this, and this is why I've always disliked Act 2 in this game. It's got so many of these type quests, and for some reason, like, it's usually, well, whenever you play it, it is random. I think it's random anyway, but I think it's always in different locations, so you can't just like get it down pat. Oh, we gotta go here, gotta go there, and that's very frustrating because sometimes it takes, literally, it takes like the whole area to clear. Like, a lot of times in Act 2, there'll be times when I clear the whole damn act. Well, not the whole act, but the whole zone, and you'll eventually find where you need to go. I mean, other times it's great, and you'll just like, you'll take a few steps one way, and then you'll see the checkpoint, and you'll go there. But what would be a cool little touch is like a, I don't know, a legendary that, it doesn't have to be a powerful legendary, just a legendary set that maybe like lets you see checkpoints on the map without being close to them, so you know exactly where to go. That would, I don't know, that'd be a cool little set legendary. Like, you put that on if you're doing like bounties, and when you get to where you need to be, you just chuck on your regular set and go from there. I reckon that'd be a neat feature. Are they gonna put it in? I doubt it, but I would enjoy it if they did. Like, this thing, like I said in the last video, I think, but this game could do with a few more legendary sets that really change up. So as it is, there's a lot of plans for legendary sets, but a lot of them are just, you know, they're just like, you get the 2 set and you get more dex, the 3 set you get like maybe some crit chance and I don't know, some resist. None of them are really stand out, none of them are really unique, and I'm not really sure how they could do it. But I mean, maybe for a set they could have like the 4 set doing like an insane amount of like fire damage, for instance, or ice damage, or something to make you choose a different build, like something, probably not fire for Demon Hunter because fire is already the way to go, but maybe like a physical set where you get this massive amounts of increased physical damage when you have the 4 set. Like just something like that would be a neat touch. And the only other thing that this game really needs to fix and sort out is the gem system, because the gem system in this game is awful. Like, I've got no problem with saying that I really enjoy this game, but the gem system, it's really not very good. It's really average at best. Well, it's worse than average because, well, I mean, oh, I thought that was legendary for a sec. It's just an ingredient for a legendary set item or a legendary item. And they did a good job with that. So when you find plans for legendaries, they did a good job where you actually have to farm for specific items like that I just found from different monsters, which is nice. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the gem system. So as it is for Demon Hunter, you've only got one choice. With weapons, you put in green gems for crit damage. That's it. There's no other alternative. You can't put in, well, yeah, there's just no other gems you put into the weapons. And that's really, it's really boring actually, because like, let's say, and the problem with it, it's not so much a major problem now in this game with the Mystic, as you can craft a socket, even though that can be an absolute nightmare. But in the original game, if you found this amazing crossbow, for instance, but it didn't have a socket, then it was useless. Basically, it was it wasn't basically useless. It was worthless because it just would never be as good as any other weapon with a socket, because it needs to have that crit damage. And I'm not sure how they can rework it. I heard from somewhere that they were maybe planning to introduce legendary gems, which could be interesting, but we'll see. That hasn't been confirmed yet or anything, so I'm sure they're going to do something with the gem system. It's just, I'm sure there's a lot of people talking about it and how bad it is. It's just not very good. But yeah, with the, I'll tell you this one. So I've got this really good one-handed crossbow. It's got so much more damage than my 2 ones right now. So I really want to get that equipped because I'll do a lot more damage. But the problem is, I've been using the Mystic to try to get a socket on it. So basically, you take the item to a Mystic and you select a property that you want to replace, and then you've got it's got a list of all the things that you can replace it with, and then it's like you get 3 choices and they're all random. So let's say I want to replace, like, it's got like, I don't know, vitality on the weapon. I want to replace that. It's got 3 options come up. It might come up with a vitality roll, it might come up with a socket, it might come up with area damage, and then you can choose one of those and you can keep re-rolling it until you get what you want. This is actually a lot of monsters. But you can You can keep rolling until you get what you want, but the problem is it gets really expensive. So it starts off pretty cheap. For legendary items, obviously it's dearer. But yeah, it starts off pretty cheap, but you also have to use a Forgotten Soul, which is it's an item you get from salvaging legendaries, or you get it from defeating the Rift boss. They have a chance to drop Forgotten Souls. But you basically, if you don't get a lot of those drops, you have to salvage your legendaries to get the Forgotten Souls if you want. And I've gone through, I've probably tried to get this socket on the crossbow at least 10 times, and now it's costing me upwards of 600,000. It's ridiculous, and I'm running out of money. And I've salvaged so many legendaries, and although I'm probably never gonna use those legendaries, it's always annoying to salvage them. And it's just been really frustrating. Like, not getting the socket on it has been like some of the most frustrated I've got with this game ever. Because and I know it's all RNG. It's RNG, man. The game's action RPGs are based on luck and good fortune for some, bad fortune for others, but man, it's just been making me so frustrated. Actually, we're up to AGO right now, so yeah, as I said, this boss fight is actually all the boss fights in this act were pretty difficult when I first played through. And you'll see why, because basically the key to this fight is you gotta kill her quickly. And I shouldn't have too much trouble with that now, but when I first played through, I obviously wasn't that strong or anything, but it's actually a pretty cool looking boss, I gotta be honest. It's one of the cool looking transformations in my opinion. But here we go. So like all other bosses, first phase, easy. They don't really do much, they just attack you and do other stuff. But when she hits her second stage, that's when it starts to get a little hairy, and that's these little things on the ground right now, they're the main problem. So there's not too many now, it's all good, but like there becomes a lot of them, and when one of them hits you, I'm pretty sure it just explodes and it leaves behind like that red thing on the ground, and I'm pretty sure you can't stand in it. It does a significant amount of damage. And when there's a lot of them on the ground, it gets pretty annoying, but we're taking her out pretty damn quickly. Shouldn't be surprised. Alright, there we go. I just ran into one then, it just exploded, so yeah. Just when you touch them, they explode. You don't have to attack them, they just have to run into you. I mean, look how many there are right now. Come on, legendary. I know you can do it. I'll be surprised if we don't get a legendary through this run. No legendary. And we go at a Paragon level.
Adria conjured an image of pandemonium before she died.
She was searching for Malthael, so he must be there.
Okay, so pandemonium. It looks like we're going there. And it looks like we're sort of on the straight to Malthael. I think, actually, it takes a fair while to get to Malthael from here, but we're on the right track.
Malthael is in pandemonium.
No doubt he has gone to the fortress. Malthael can hold out there until the end of time. He is forcing us to come to him.
We won't disappoint him, but he's using his advantage well. Every second his power grows.
The only way to Pandemonium is through the high heavens. Let us leave at once.
So yep, we'll do that in the next episode. So thank you guys for watching and see yous.